RT's Harry Fear has the story of one man in particular who's actually been left literally speechless by what happened to him.
Muath Duredi from the northern West Bank is still unable to speak properly or move his legs following 28 days of Israeli detention. The 30-year-old was returning home having attended job interviews in the United Arab Emirates when he was arrested at the crossing point between Jordan and the West Bank, which is in part controlled by Israel. Almost a month later, he was released into Palestinian jurisdiction in a critical condition with his medical records withheld. Doctors say when he arrived at the hospital, he was rigid, unable to move. His wife says he could move nothing but his eyes and appeared to be dead.
I was really afraid for him. Muath is the type who can't handle insult and humiliation. I knew it must have been a very difficult experience for him. He's an extremely sensitive person and he does not accept insult or humiliation.
Muath, a high-flying computer engineer, was apparently in normal health until his arrest. Doctors say he was injected with unknown substances that shocked his system, sending him into a comatose state.
The patient was given medicine during his detention which are unknown to us. He arrived at the emergency room of our hospital presenting symptoms of shock and high fever, and he was shaken.
His lawyer says Israel claimed he was a member of Hamas and supported the movement, something his father vehemently denies.
And I know my son, he doesn't a member of any association, even Fatah, even Hamas, even Shabi, even any party. And he engaged, and he's 30 years old, and he just engaged with his home, with his family, with his work, with his job.
Until a few days ago, Muath was mute and unconscious. Now able to mumble words, he took hours to tell his father he'd allegedly undergone harsh treatment, forced into stress positions and kept in total isolation in what he called a black hole.
All of the period I didn't see him, they didn't allow me to see him or even the lower to see him.
A field researcher for an Israeli human rights group says the evidence suggests Muath was subjected to treatment that exceeds Israel's own red lines.
It seemed that he was broken and psychologically affected from the atmosphere of detention, from the way how they deal with him.
No one from the Israeli prison service or army was available to respond to these serious accusations, but a spokesperson for the Defense Ministry said no one is ever detained without a security matter connected to them. One of the victim's neighbors visited him at the hospital. He too alleged he'd been arbitrarily targeted at the same crossing.
10 days ago, I was on my way to Saudi Arabia, and they sent me back from the border. This is another example of the daily abuse imposed on people just for their being Palestinians, without having committed any crime.
Investigator Abdul Karim says Israel stepped up its policy of restrictions since the beginning of the recent Gaza conflict.
Sometimes during a day, 200 to 300 persons deny access. And this is, I think this is collective punishment.
Muath's case, although unusually severe, highlights the tight control that Israel's army and Ministry of Defense have over Palestinians' freedom of movement, both inside and while returning to their own occupied territory. The message from Palestinians here is that it's not just the blockaded Gaza Strip that is at the mercy of Israel's security apparatus. Harry Fear, RT, the occupied West Bank.
We've got many more stories for you right now on our website, including this one. You might use it, but should you